Who's got the rocket launcher? I say we blow it up. Now fire that thing.
It's for the city of sports, playing with a giant Nick. With my man S. Dot God.
That's him.
You feel the vibe?
That's me.
We going live.
That's us.
That like button shared, you been subscribed.
Stadium.
That MetLife Big Blue, home of the Braves.
Yeah.
That turnpike, you can see that's where the game's played. NFL one day, then it's the NBA. Madison Square Garden, that's where the Knicks play. This that NY Logan, North don't get broken. Legalized mean this shit smoking. I'm on topic, dropping another episode. The game winner, trade, maybe a field goal. Everybody right now doing the wave. You tune in, the show called TheMan-Cave. I see the chat, they always doing their thing. Big views, 85-inch screen. The game's on, you rush and bleed. Stay calm, you on the road and chill. To the watch along, the show's on. The host, you know it's S-God. It's no telling, the panel filled with guest stars. You now rocking with the voice, you know what it is. It's your boy J Boogie. You're now rocking with my man S-God. I support him to the fullest, you heard? My man Mike Blaze. This is Alter Production. What that mean? We about to alter everything that's playing. Tune in. My man S.G.O.D. Support the show. Subscribe, share it. Most importantly, hit that like button.
What's good? What's good? What's good? Salute Knicks Nation, the blue and the orange skies. You already know what it is, man. It's that time of year coming up, man. Knicks basketball is right around the corner, man. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in, man, to another episode on the Man-Cave podcast with your boy S-God, man, talking Knicks hoop right now and stuff like that. But if this is your first time to my channel, man, please hit that like and subscribe button. Also share it to all social media platforms, man. It does nothing but help the algorithm, man. It helps me out, man. And it's free to subscribe, man. Just hit that subscribe button, man. It's free. Don't cost you nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? And also hit that notification bell so that way you know when I'm on, dropping some hits, dropping, my picks, analysis, and things like that, man. But, without no further ado, man, it's like, we're going to have some guest hosts on in a little bit, you know what I'm saying? They run a little bit behind, but it's all good. So right now we're going to dive into some Knicks talk, man. It's going to be Knicks talk. We're going to be talking about the Knicks upcoming season, the schedule release, and also Jalen Brunson's captains. He's like the number 36 captain in Knicks history. The Knicks 78-year history. He's number 36. So, that's a big thing, man. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even know, there haven't been a Knicks captain within the last, I want to say 6 or 8 years. So that's a great accomplishment for Jalen Brunson, man. You know what I'm saying? He just got to the team about a couple of years ago. So he done already took over the city. So it's a great thing for him, man. So he, like I said, he's named the 36th captain of the Knicks, man, and all that stuff. Man, what's good, coach? Yeah, I'll see you up in there, man. I watched your thing yesterday, man. Like I said, I got off work real late, man. So by the time I seen it, man, but I watched it, man. It was dope, your episode. But yeah, man, just talking Knicks basketball, man. I know we've been talking Giants, because it's preseason and stuff like that. Giants actually played today at 1:00 against the Texans in Houston, But like I said, basketball will be right around the corner another couple of months. So, hey, just break it up a little bit, talk some Knicks basketball, man. Knicks fans, we're excited for the season. We can't wait for the season to start. You know what I'm saying? Last year was a great season for the Knicks. I mean, we did real well, despite, the circumstances and the outcome, we didn't care too much and didn't like, but hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles, so it's a new season to start. Now we're going to come back on, and also, man, what I'm saying, I'm going to get my first host back on here, man, in a little bit. But like I said, man, we just going to talk that Knicks talk, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a Saturday morning, nice 70-something degree day down here in the A, man, Atlanta and stuff like that. So it's all good. And come to the stage, man. I'm going to bring my brother on for the first time, man. Welcome to the show, man. This is my brother, YL. You know what I'm saying?
What's good, broski?
What's good, man? This is my brother, this is right here, bro. You already know what time it is, man. Thank you for coming on my show, man. Happy to have you on here, man. You know what I'm saying? So some of these fans can get this, listen to Worldwide L talk. You know what I'm saying? This guy got a lot of knowledge about Knicks basketball, And I also met him in Knicks Spaces, man, when I first got on, you know what I'm saying? Man show, fan TV and things like that. So, you know, hey man, this is my brother from another man. We go to when the Hawks come down. I mean, when the Knicks come down here to play the Hawks, we go to the game and stuff like that. So it's all good, man. You know what I'm saying? So this is your first time on my show, man. Thank you for coming on, man. Thanks for having you on my show and stuff like that, man. So how you been?
No doubt, bro. I've been chilling, no doubt. Had to come through, show the broski some love,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
be out here in the neighborhood in A.
And that Knicks talk is like that basketball is gonna be soon. We're gonna within another month, a couple of months, it's gonna be right around the corner, man. And we didn't even know because we just talking yesterday, man. Man, the Knicks they come down here real early. They come down to visit the Hawks like the first 2 weeks of the season, something like that. It was like November 6th, November 6th.
Yeah, something like that. That Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah, good thing you told me.
building.
I looked on the schedule. I was like, because I'm thinking like, oh, the Knicks probably gonna come here in January or like December, but it was like, nah, it was like November 6th, man. So yeah, we're gonna try to get in there, get some tickets, get some stuff like that, man. You know how it go, man. But one of the things I wanted to talk about, man, is like as far as with the Knicks, like, how did you feel about the Knicks all season? Because I know we didn't get a chance to talk to you and let these guys know, how you felt about how the Knicks off season went. The big Mikal Bridges trade, how you see us going forward. You know what I'm saying? Is like, have we, in your mind, like, are we one of those NBA championship contenders or something like that, are close enough to it that we could battle these top teams, you know what I'm saying? And be along, right there, man, in the end. That's all. I just want to get your opinion, how you feel about the season and the moves that we made.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown, my brother. So expect all the darts, the bullets, the rocks, the pebbles. Expect everything to come our way this season. But the Mikal Bridges trade was like, wow, it was one of those trades where as Knicks fans, we'd be like, yeah, let's trade Mikal Bridges for Julius Randle. That's what Cass was talking about, right?
Trades, right?
But it's one of them trades where it's almost like surreal. Like we can't believe it as Knicks fans that the Nets would do business with us. Especially now that they were playing the same city. So that was a surprise within itself. The draft picks, it depends on how you look at it. But like I explained it, and I explained it to me and my brother talk. Like I explained to him was that if when you good and your team is good, them draft picks means nothing. You know what I mean? They're gonna be picking in the same position for the next couple of years, the same way they picked this season. They was the second seed or whatever. They're gonna be picking on the around the same numbers for the next couple of years. So depending on you could find some diamonds in the rough, but are they gonna be a Mikal Bridges? Maybe not. It all depends. But so I wasn't too mad about the picks, especially knowing that we didn't give up no bodies. We didn't give up physical bodies. You gave up Bogdanovich, but 9 times out of 10, he wasn't going to be here to start of the season anyway. And our sample size with him wasn't that much great. He didn't have that much of an impact to me. His short time that he was here, yeah. Could he hit the outside shot? Yes. Will we miss him? No. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna miss him. I felt like I still feel like we need a point guard, a backup point guard, a legit backup point guard. I know we signed Campaign. I don't view him as that. I know they probably signed him more of a, I guess, chemistry, point guard, knowing that he played with, knowing that he played with Bridges before. But I just think we need an experienced point guard, backup. Go get a John Wall or somebody like that. Somebody that knock on wood, if Brunson go down, that's going to be able to hold it down.
So let me ask you something. Let me ask you as far as the backup point guard. I seen Campaign was available. I mean Cameron Payne, and then I seen because I was born like Tyus Jones. I thought Tyus Jones was going to cost a lot more, but it was the same money that we signed Campaign for. So I'm like, man, why didn't go with Tyus Jones? Because Tyus Jones can run a team like that. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of surprised me because Tyus Jones signed after Campaign. So I'm thinking like, oh, Tyus, he probably want more money. That's why the Knicks ain't go after him. But then when I saw his contract, I was like, man, that's the same contract. And I thought he'd have been much better with us, you know what I'm saying? But, that's how it falls, but we'll see. But like I say, I was just surprised about that because I thought Tyus Jones was holding out for more money and stuff like that. That's why the Knicks went in that direction with Cameron Payne and stuff like that.
I thought he was, to me, I thought he was holding out for maybe he felt he's a starter.
Contender.
You know, just maybe feel because he's a backup. He's been playing backup for the last couple of years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe feel like he's a starter. Maybe he wanted to go someplace where he felt he could start. That's the only reason why I thought the Knicks didn't sign him.
He started in Washington. He just started in Washington.
Just started, but he's a career backup, right? He's a career backup, right? Okay. So maybe his mindset was, I just started. This is the numbers of me as a starter. Maybe feel like he's a starter.
Right.
I don't know. And the Knicks, he probably wanted a little bit more playing time. We also got to take in consideration that whoever's going to be the backup point guard, you're not going to get a lot of minutes.
Right.
So your minutes, so you got to really be willing to sacrifice and say, I'm cool with coming here playing 14, 15 minutes a night. I'm cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
They got to be real cool. And then maybe some nights you may only play 10 minutes some nights, depending on the how the game is going.
Right.
But that goes for all the players, though. That goes for all the players on this team now. It's gonna have to be a lot of sacrifice. You're gonna have to really push your egos to the side. I don't think we have any of those kind of players. I think Randall learned how not to be that kind of player over the course of time. You know what I mean? Salute DSJ. I think he learned how to be a team player over the last 2 years, especially last year. So I think, and then you watching it on the sideline, knowing that I don't got to be the Julius Randle of, I could just go out there and just play ball. And I think that's the excitement of any ball player when we could just go out there and play ball and ain't worried about scoring, ain't worried about nothing, just out there just playing ball and contribute to the win, any way you can.
Right. Yeah. I kind of feel the same way too. I know a lot of people. Julius Randle got a lot of flack from people. You know what I'm saying, as far as he's a selfish player. How he's going to react to Jalen Brunson is his team now, and then OG Anunoby here now, and Mikal Bridges come. But I was like, you look at last season, like before Julius got hurt. I mean, Knicks are one of the top teams. I mean, the record. I mean, he was playing within this. You know what I'm saying? What was I couldn't really fault him for that. You know what I'm saying? It's like we was 15-2 or something like that with him in the lineup, and he was adjusting to these guys and stuff like that. And I think he's gonna adjust even more because, like I said, when you got more help and you got more people that can do things, it'll probably open up your eyes more. But like, hey, you know what I'm saying? We gotta make this thing work. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to do everything no more. You know what I'm saying? I got somebody that could do this, do that, and stuff like that, and just be part of a winning culture and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because there ain't gonna be no more me. You know what I'm saying? It's like now you've got some help because he saw when he was out how far the Knicks got in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Without him, you know what I'm saying? He's just like, yo, if they could do that, when I get back, that could help out even more. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we miss the guys, the big guys. You know what I'm saying? That's what was missing in the postseason was like the size. With Mitch being out. And Anunoby, Randall, you know what I'm saying? Because we was small in the playoffs. And now with these guys come back, you can't do that no more with Brunson. You can't be putting no Oubre and all these other guys on them, like, Jason Taylor and them on them. Now they got to go back and guard their regular positions. And that's going to help Brunson out even more because now he's going to face guys who's like his size or whatever, just a little bit tall. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because now you got Bridges out there. You got Anunoby out there. They're going to have to be guarding those guys too. You know what I'm saying? So now Brunson, he's going to be even ready to cook even more. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just excited for this season, man. And like I said, I know as Knicks fans, the season did not end the way that we wanted it to end. You know what I'm saying? But, the circumstances that happened, like I said, I couldn't be more proud of this team, like the way they fought, man. You know what I'm saying? They just fought to the end and stuff like that. Only thing we was decimated. But like I said, we're going to be back stronger than ever. Like I said, I'm loving the outlook for this team going forward. Like I said, we got size, got a lot of wing position. You got a lot of point guards and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That hopefully, like you said, we do need that secondary point guard. And I don't know if the rookie, what's that, Kolek? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if the rookie Kolek would be ready to handle that. You know what I'm saying? Let me bring on the other co-host for today, man. You might remember him, my boy Heartstorm Media. You know what I'm saying?
Brother, now, what's going on, man? I hope y'all can hear me. Sorry, I'm late, man. Hopefully, I got my game face on. The snooze was my friend and my enemy today.
Yeah, I know, man. I know, bro. It's all good, man. We up in here, man, right now. You, me, you know what I'm saying? Worldwide L. You probably remember Worldwide L, you know him and stuff like that. L, that's Heartstorm Media right there.
I remember Hearthstone. Salute.
Yeah,
What's
man.
going on?
So
Uh,
we'll be on here talking Knicks, man. We was just talking about, the outlook for the season, you know what I'm saying, as far as Jalen Brunson, you know what I'm saying, as far as him being like the man of the team now and stuff like that. It's his team. And how Julius Randle is also going to come back from injury, you know what I'm saying? And he did play with Brunson and Nobi. So like I said, we figured he's going to be the same way too. He's going to incorporate right back into the way we were, because we was like 15-2 with him in the lineup. I know everybody going to say how he's going to react with him coming back. Is like, I think he should be fine. So I just wanted to take and also ask your outlook, like how you feel about what the Knicks did in the offseason, and also about the Mikal Bridges trade. You know what I'm saying? If you were for it, and how did you feel about it?
well, definitely on board. The one thing I saw when we made that move for Mikal Bridges, I said, well, the Knicks going all in, right? This is the championship move, right? Because when you look at our roster, it just seemed like we got too many players. Now, in the past 2 years prior, I used to always say one of the problems with the Knicks was we had too many C+ and B players. Our roster from 1 to 10 was pretty much deeper than any other roster in the league. No other team could have went 3 centers deep with 3 guys that could all deserve NBA minutes, right? You got Mitch, Hartenstein, and Sims, all are NBA centers. No other team has 3 NBA centers, right? If you looked at what we had at the 2 guard, when we did still have Grimes and the big Ragu, and you got Hart coming off the bench, and you got Deuce McBride. What other team can pull 4 guards that really deserve NBA minutes? What other team has that deep of a roster at all these different positions when we still had IQ and RJ Barrett? You're like, man, we just got a bunch of players, and we've had these rosters where we'd have guys getting DMP'd who on other teams could potentially be starting players. Evan Fournier, okay, we can say what we want about his defense, right? Evan Fournier go to another team, he's gonna play. We've had that happen so many times. So now when I look at the roster, I'm like, where do we find minutes for Bridges and Jules and Deuce, and to continue his development, and Sims, and like last year we had what's my man from Jersey that came in and was balling out at center. We got an OG trade.
Oh, you talking Precious?
And we got guys that can get quality minutes that can contribute to winning. How do we find minutes for all of them? I think at the trade deadline, if we're not really looking at what we're supposed to be, a guy like Jules could still be moved on from, because I just don't know how they all fit. But if they all buy in and say, listen, this is the way we win a championship. Now we're not really worried as much about the injury bug, because we got 3 deep at every position. Guys just really got to buy in, because this is a log jam. Because DiVincenzo showed you he is a starting 2 guard on a championship team. He showed you that, right? I believe that. I didn't believe that when we got him, but the way he played in the playoffs, it was like, man, he was Klay Thompson like 2.0 or whatever the case would be, the way he was playing, putting up 38, 40 in the game. So you can't just say, okay, Hart, you used to play 40 minutes. Now you're going to play 24, 25. DiVincenzo, you was playing 38 minutes. Now you're going to play 24, 25, 30. I think it keeps guys fresh. I think it keeps guys healthy, but I also think we do have a log jam. But now at least we have a log jam of great players, not B- players. We got a log jam of, we got a log jam of all-stars. I don't know how they all fit. I look at that Warriors team that won maybe their 2nd ring, and I'm like, you got to buy in and say, hey, man, you might be a guy that's a starter. You might be a guy that's an all-star. You might play 28 minutes, but we're going to win a ring. That's how I look at the team now.
But if you look at it, like, I mean, with all the logjam, the depth, that's a good thing, because like you said, I mean, for some reason we've been getting bitten by the snake bug with the injuries. So, I mean, if you got guys injured, you got guys, you can count on the other guys and depend on other guys to step up. You ain't going to be like, oh man, I don't know if it's a big fall off. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Because we're a deep team now. So we deep at every position. So, the one thing is just the center position where, with Mitch and Jericho right now. And then Precious is here too, you know what I'm saying? So I think get away with it and stuff like that. Like I said, I feel real good about this team. The Mikal
Hey,
Bridges.
question. Did we make that move to bring Precious back? I know it was speculated, but I kind of wasn't watching the wire. Did we make that move?
Yeah, he's back on. It's a 1 year deal, right? Is it 1 year or 2 year?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He earned that. He should have got more, but he earned that.
With the anticipation that he probably going to get traded, so he has.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Me and Precious went to the same high school.
Oh yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, he went to Benedict's Prep. I don't know if he didn't go to Benedict's Prep the whole 4 years, but he went to Benedict's Prep out in Newark for I think 2 years. I may have met him at an alumnus event once, but I didn't know he was somebody to meet. I just went to this alumnus event. We met all the basketball players, and I just seen a whole bunch of dudes that was like 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", and I just said what's up to all of them. But that was really it. And I think that was around the time he was on the team.
St. Benedict's also had what's that? J.R. Smith.
J.R. Smith, yeah, he's graduate St. Benedict's too. J.R. Smith, Lance Thomas went to Benedict's for a minute. So yeah, we had a couple of NBA players come through.
So if one of y'all want to answer that question, that's my boy RC Hawkeye. You know, great guy, great content creator. You know, do Hawkeye's basketball, the Las Vegas Aces and things like that. WNBA. He says, "Can y'all win a championship though with Jalen Brunson as the head man for 4 straight rounds?" Talking about the whole, playoff. It's a fair question. I'm gonna go first. Yeah, we can win. We can win with him as the head man. If we healthy, we can win. Like I said, that man took us, further than anybody got us with all the injuries that we had and all that stuff. And like I said, and he was still cooking them dudes out there and stuff like that, man. So yeah, we trust him. We trust in Jalen Brunson, man. We get a healthy team, we going all the way, bro. I ain't even. That's not even what you call it. I'm confident in that, bro. If we could just stay healthy.
Yeah. My thing is I'm piggybacking off of you. It's absolutely. Can we win with him? I think the thing that a lot of people mix up is he's leader. They want to put can he lead the team being so short? But when you surround a player like of his magnitude with the kind of his surrounding cast, all them guys, because he pretty much they're surrounded by all them guys as leaders. They all lead in their own individual way. They all go out there and they play ball. So he doesn't have to bear the weight of being the guy to lead this team, and knowing that you got a good sidekick in Randall. I mean, people keep sleeping on Randall. Esgar, Randall is the beast, dog. You know what I mean? And it's about time we give him you got to give him his props. Because when you see him play, how we saw him play last year and play next to Brunson, how he's played for the past 2 seasons, you really appreciate his talent. And the 2 years he's really played alongside of Brunson, he's been All NBA. I mean, he's an All NBA player that we got. We got 2 All NBA players on our squad. So,
and then if you look at it, just to piggyback, even think with Brunson, you look at it. When we had all those injuries, we were like a 4th seed or something like that with all them injuries, and Brunson took us all the way up to a 2nd seed with all those injuries. Whereas the Sixers were a 2nd seed with Embiid in there, and when Embiid went down with Max, and Maxey was the only one left, they went from a 2nd seed to a 7th seed. They almost missed the playoffs, and they only had 1 injury. That was just Embiid. We had like 3 injuries. We had a bunch of injuries. And then, like I said, this man still put us on his back and took us, you know what I'm saying? And on top of that, what was they doing? They was throwing their best players on them. We talking about like wing players, powerful, whatever they had to do. They was throwing it. They was in it because the guys that like his size, he was eating them guys up. So they had to put like 6'8", 6'9" dudes on them, long arm dudes on them. And he still was cooking them dudes.
And you got to give credit to the surrounding cast. Our surrounding cast was better than Philly.
I'm gonna answer that.
That's what helped.
Really, really quick, and just say I got tired of hearing towards the end of the season, couldn't the Knicks really win the championship? Or the Knicks really championship contenders? I'm like, first of all, we the 2nd seed. Second, Brunson was the best and most consistent performer in the playoffs. Nobody performed as consistently as him for every single game. He had 2 semi-decent games, but he still scored 20 plus in both of those semi-decent games. He was cooking everybody, and we was playing with our 2nd or 3rd string roster. And you remember the guys that were starting for the Knicks in the playoffs, other than JB, none of those guys were the starters when the season started. Not one. DiVincenzo was a backup to IQ and RJ. Josh Hart was a backup. Josh Hart was a backup 2-3, end up playing the power forward. You know what I mean? Start power forward. You got it, to think that we can't win with JB. And maybe what the question the gentleman was saying was for 4 rounds, meaning can he sustain that punishment for 4 rounds? Maybe you say that. Can a little guy like that take that kind of punishment all the way through the finals? That's what you got the supporting cast now. You ain't got to. Josh Hart ain't got to play 48 minutes. Jalen Brunson ain't got to play 43 minutes for us to win. You know, we're going to be blowing teams out. We're going to be like that Warriors team that KD and Steph was sitting on the bench on the fourth quarter, mostly all the games. Right. I don't see us. I mean, come on, you just got guys that can go in and get you buckets. And now you see Deuce, his ascension. If you put Deuce on the floor with Bridges and DiVincenzo and OG and, you know, and Jules, JB could sit for 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. You know, you ain't. I think that's a no-brainer. But next question.
Yeah, no, you can do that, man. That's what I'm saying. What's this? From DSJ, does the lack of consistent playing time at center for Sims hurt the Knicks since the departure of iHeart, or do you trust in the developmental process of the coaching staff?
Question.
Yeah, I mean, I see Sims been working on this game in the offseason, man. You know what I'm saying? I see the little workouts and things like that. So, working out with Mike Bibby, things like that. And I think Sims will be all right, man. Because Mitch is going to play a lot. It depends if he, you know, stays healthy and stuff like that. And Sims could spell Mitch and stuff like that. So I trust that as far as, like, you know what I'm saying, with Sims and stuff like that. And like I said, and what I didn't know was, like, most of the last 2 or 3 seasons that Sims been playing on the Knicks, like, he's been rehabbing. He's been injured he's been rehabbing, and that's why you ain't even seen him play some games. Like, I was like, wonder why he wasn't playing in the playoffs, and he had a torn labrum in his shoulder and stuff like that. He hasn't really been playing like last year.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, before. See, that's what I said. We don't know these injuries until like at the end of the season when these guys are rehabbing and doing things like that. And it's like you find out, because you be like, why is this guy on the bench? Why he ain't playing? You know? So yeah, I mean, hey, I trust the developmental process, especially if you're working with you know, Bibby and these other guys helping to shoot jumpers and stuff like that. Because, you know, Sims is just known for like rebounding and alley-oops and stuff like that. But if he could do that, man, you know what I'm saying, that'll help out even more, you know what I'm saying? Plus he has the size too, you know what I'm saying? He's not like a little small guy, you know what I'm saying? So, and we all know he can get off the floor, man. He jumps out the gym. So I trust that, you know what I'm saying? So I'll let El say if you will talk about Sims.
What is this? This is 3rd year, right? This is 3rd season, right? What is this, 3rd or 4th?
Yeah, he might be going into his 4th, which sounds crazy because he came in. He wasn't. IQ came in with Mitch. He came in the next year, so maybe this is 3rd. It just seemed like he's been playing longer than that. Because he's already on the 2nd contract, so this might be his 4th season.
Yeah, I remember when we got him. I always said that he was a work in progress at the time that we got him.
Steal too, last pick of the draft.
Yeah. And still 3 years later, 4 years later, he's still a work in progress. So I don't know. I don't know if the playing time I hurt him, because he has played minutes. When he went out there in the playoffs, he froze up. So I think it's a confidence issue with him. You know, when guys freeze up like that, that's been playing in the league a couple of years, you shouldn't be freezing up. You should be ready for that moment. You should have been amped for that moment. I'm getting playoff on minutes. Make the best of the minutes when you get out there. He got out there and turned the ball over, you know, and the rest is, I think we ended up losing that game too. I think that was one of them games in Philly. He came out there and Tibbs put him out there. He turned the ball over before he crossed the half court. And we ain't seen him since. I think it's just, I don't know. I don't know. You know, it says a lot about, I guess, his own development, because we can't speak about everybody else, because the players on this team have been developing over the course of time, over these years, with this coaching staff and his management group. So it might just be a confidence issue. I don't think the minutes have anything to do with DSJ. I just think it's a confidence issue with me and Sims. That's how I look at him. You know?
Right. I wish Tibbs would let one of our centers shoot the ball once. And I'm not saying that's got to be part of the game plan, but have you ever seen a Mitch in practice? Like, right. Mitch be putting up jumpers. I seen Mitch hit threes in practice. Now I ain't saying I want that to be like part of the game plan when you got a bunch of shooters around, have Mitch start shooting threes. But I'm tired of the centers being relegated to dribble handoffs. Like Hartenstein. I bet you when Hartenstein on his new team, right? I bet you they promised him he's gonna get to shoot the ball. Now, mind you, he came to us as a potential 3 like stretch big.
I remember
but
that.
he was bricking when he first got there. And I think Tibbs and them said, all right, look, it ain't happening, right? But he went to a point where he was shooting jump shots and threes to not shooting at all until he got that little push shot, wouldn't put up a J. I would like for the development of the bigs. That's something that we haven't had. That's something we've missed in the past 4 or 5 seasons. We haven't had a stretch big. Every other team has a stretch big. Now, some teams be having players like Mo Bamba who think they can shoot threes better than they can. But I would like to see brother get a chance to put a jump shot up. Let it be a threat. You know what I mean? So that's all I would say about Sim's development. Part of that is coaching, and part of that is game plan. Mitch be working on his jump shot, but he don't get to shoot in the game. So if we don't see him shooting the game, we think he has developed the jump shot.
Right.
I see him in practice hitting the J's, and he ain't Ben Simmons. So that's my take on that, though. But these questions, some good questions coming up, man.
Yeah, man. So yeah, this is 4th season. I guess he was drafted with McBride, Jokibitis,
to me, when I look at him, I just look at it doesn't matter how many minutes he play, because ain't like he don't play, so he plays. So I think it's just a confidence issue with him, and he has to look himself in the mirror and want to go out there and compete. Because you think about it like this: you can force the coach to put you in the game, right? By your way of how you practice, the way how you play when you get in the game. You can force the coach to keep you in the game. That's how McBride ended up getting his playing time.
That's what Precious did too.
He made, and I remember going back, and I'm gonna go right back. But I remember we used to talk about the Obi Toppin situation, and people used to be talking about how he's like, oh, like yo, Tibbs this and Tibbs that. But my thing was, when you get out there and you play, make the most of your opportunity when you get out there and play, because you're getting a paycheck. So it's not like you're playing ball on the street. You're getting paid. So you take advantage of the situation. They're paying you to go out there and perform. And I always felt like Obi wasn't doing that. And that was my thing. And he goes to the Pacers. Yeah, they re-signed him, but he still was the same kind of player. He started out as a starter, ended up going to the bench. So he is that kind of player. He is a bench player. You follow? So I just think it's more or less of when Sims gets the playing time, he has to take advantage of the playing time when he goes out there and he plays. Don't freeze up. Just take advantage of the situation. I don't think he do. Sometimes he do, sometimes he don't. But in your 4th year, going to see your 4th year, man, you should know what the NBA presents to you. You should know what the NBA is all about at that time.
Yeah, Obi's a starter on a bad team. That's just who he is. I think he's a starter on a bad team. He ain't a starter on the playoff team. And I think for sometimes, when you talk about making impact, right? You got to make the right impact. If you come into a game and you can hit a couple of open threes, that's one thing. But it depends on who your coach is. If your coach is asking you to go out there and play solid, rock hard defense, Obi ain't got that in him, not on a consistent basis. So if you want to win minutes with Tibbs, you go out there and play defense. That's why Deuce was a Tibbs guy. Deuce is going to go out there. He's going to keep getting opportunities because he's going to go out there and play D, even when he wasn't hitting threes. Same thing with Precious. You put him in there, an undersized center, he's getting 4 blocks. Tibbs going to figure out how to put him in the game. Josh Hart. That's why Josh Hart plays 48 minutes. He plays Tibbs ball. So if you playing Tibbs ball, that's how you get on the court. If you Jericho Sims, you can't have defensive lapses. You can't go out there. You could jump out the gym and, you go out there and Tibbs is like, you blew a defensive assignment. You're getting out the game, bro. I don't care if you get a putback dunk.
Unless
you better get every defensive rebound and you better make somebody's life hard on defense. That's what keeps you in the game, Tibbs. Now, some of them other things I just said, you playing for D and Tony, right? You're going to get on the court if you can run fast and jump high. So I think you got to know how to impress your coach on top of playing your game. And I don't think Obi ever really got that on a consistent basis, or maybe he just didn't have it. He didn't have it in him to play that kind of effort defense. He wasn't going to be a great defender, but if you making effort plays and not blown plays, you get beat on the backdoor cut, you coming out the game. Unless you're Julius Randle.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
So next thing I'm gonna talk about Jalen Brunson named captain. How do you guys feel about that? You know what I'm saying? He's the number 36 captain in Knicks history. Out of their 78-year history, he's number 36 captain. And I didn't even know like the last captain was about Carmelo Anthony, Lance Thomas, and
Lance Thomas.
Courtney Lee. That was like 8 years ago. The last time captain was named.
Jules never been captain.
No, I didn't.
That's interesting. It makes sense though, because he don't have it up here. He be out of control. People got to control him all the time for him to be captain. That's what the Yankees do, though. You know, the Yankees don't just name captains. You know, Derek Jeter was a captain for 20 years. It took them about 5 years to name Judge the captain. Before Jeter, it wasn't a captain. Probably since Donnie Baseball, they don't name captains often. They keep that C. It ain't like every year, every team they're gonna have a captain. They don't believe in that. So that's big.
So you think that? I mean, me personally, I think it was well earned. He deserved it. You know what I'm saying? I can't think about anybody who deserves it more than Jalen Brunson on the team. I know he's only been here about a couple of seasons and stuff like that, but he done earn his medal. We don't see what this guy has done in 2 years, man. I mean, he done turned the Knicks franchise around. I mean, he gets so much to the point where the Knicks just changed their whole mindset. You know, with the young guys, they just got rid of all the young guys and just like, yo, we ready to hit that button right now and just go. You know what I'm saying? Jalen, he speeded up the process as far as like, you know, when he first came, because I thought it was going to be a minute, but I mean, he speeded up so much, man. Now it's just like, wow.
Put that comment up on the screen.
This one?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, man. I just laughed at that. Worldwide L secretly has a Ben Simmons Brooklyn Nets jersey next to his Marcus Morris Knicks jersey. But don't tell nobody.
Yeah.
They clowning. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just picking the comments up.
Yeah. But yeah, so
Everybody think about DSJ.
Man, that's funny.
Lance Thomas was the last captain of the Knicks. Yeah, he was the last. I was surprised. I thought it was going to be somebody else. But you have to think about it.
Oh man,
dysfunctionally bad team for the last, some years. Is like you can't just name captains if guys are just coming here for a quick coffee and like they just trade them left and right. It was like a revolving door around here. So you really had nobody that just like really solidified themselves to be named the captain. So when you think about it, you be like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. And then I also saw before Carmelo Anthony was like David Lee and Raymond Felton. I remember David Lee was like a young guy, sounds like, what I'm saying? That was like
David Lee was solid.
Right.
Yeah, but there's some bad teams, man. Man, I don't even think of those.
Got a ring. David Lee got him a ring with the Warriors.
Yeah.
He do.
David Lee, a long list of Knicks players, former Knicks players that have championship rings. There's a lot of them, bro.
You know when I think about them players on them teams and us as Knicks fans, including myself, I'm not excluding myself from the conversation. We were so starving for a team, right? That we honestly thought these players was good in our minds, but they was really mediocre. They was really good players or half decent players on a very bad team. But we were so starving as Knicks fans to get to this point where we at today that we were willing to take anything, like to believe that Lance Thomas was our captain. I mean, we was talking about David Lee like he was the next coming. He played because there was nobody else to play. You understand what I'm saying? But if you take David Lee and put him on a contender team like the Warriors, he comes off the bench. He comes off the bench.
Yeah.
So, but that's the world we lived in, like DSJ said. That's the world we lived in as Knicks fans to get to the point where we at today. It's like Shawshank Redemption. We crawled through the 200 yards of God knows what to come out clean on the other side. And that's where we at now as Knicks fans. We for the first time in so many years that I can recall. I'm on record telling everybody this is the best Knicks team that I ever saw. Right, it's the best Knicks team I ever saw. And they say, "What you mean by that, L?" And I say, that I ever saw in my lifetime. I didn't see Walt Clyde Frazier in them play. I wasn't born in that era. I saw Patrick Ewing in them, and I saw that era, and I saw when you look back and you compare the teams, you're like, damn, we really didn't have the talent on that team. It was Patrick Ewing, then it was everybody else. We had C-class players that they surrounded Patrick Ewing with. He never had a B player or even another A+ player So then
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
fast
You're right
forward,
about that.
right? So then you
He
fast
never
forward and you
Patrick
go
Ewing
to
never
the
played with an all-star.
never. So then you go to the
Yeah.
99 team, right? Now the 99 team, the problem with the 99 team is that team would have probably been next to this team, but the fact that Patrick Ewing wasn't ready to pass the torch over to them young guys and be a player like what we asking Randall to do on this team and what he's done. See, because that team, that 99 team, Pat still wanted to be the man. He didn't want to pass it over to Spreewell and Houston and all the other guys. He still wanted the ball to go through him, which it could have, but you got to make it work for the rest of the players, like what you see what's happening with Randall.
And even on that 99 team, like you said, that 99 team you had a bunch of good players who had great chemistry, right? But, Larry Johnson wasn't grandmama anymore. Allen Houston was just always Allen Houston. Allen Houston was a B player. You know what I mean?
He learned how to play without being grandmama.
Sprewell, one of my favorite players of all time.
Sprewell's a beast.
And I think Sprewell is like a solid B player. And I ain't gonna say like a B plus because he had deficiencies in his game. But that team just blended together like really, really well. They fed off each other. I think this team this year might have some of that same energy. I mean, this team, if you take the energy from our first Julius Randle playoff team and put it with this team's talents, because that first Julius Randle, that Reggie Bullock, Julius Randle, and it was Julius Randle and a bunch of nobodies. I'm barely remembering the guys on that team already, and that was just 4 years ago. We had great chemistry, great energy, and we overachieved that year. If you take this roster and make them overachieve, that's the championship. Honestly, barring injury, I don't see how another team competes with our depth and the makeup of our players, especially considering the fact that 3 of them are all NBA defensive players. If Mitch stays healthy, he's all NBA second team at least defensive. OG's all NBA first team. Mikal Bridges, we know he's an all NBA second team wing defender.
Right.
Josh Hart, they don't give him credit for being a great defender, but listen, at 6'4", if you go out there and get me 11 defensive rebounds, I don't know how that's not a consideration for all. And they give all the credit to Drew Holiday and what's the funny looking dude from the Celtics. They've been these great man defenders. I take Josh Hart get me 11 defensive rebounds over what's the white. I ain't gonna call him. I'm not saying the white kid, the dude. What's it? Derek? I would be wanting to call him Derek White.
That's
the
his
funny
name.
looking dude. You know what I'm talking about? Who was on an Olympic team by mistake? The one who got that free gold medal.
We're gonna welcome Big Lou to this.
Was on an Olympic team by mistake.
You know how it is. We're gonna
Man, that boy ain't had no business being on the Olympic team, man. We all know he got that token ring. That token medal. Man, he must have knew somebody that knew somebody.
Yo, we all felt the same way. But welcome to the show, Big Lou, man. This is my brother from Big Blue Crew, Big Bruce Sports Network. You know what I'm saying? G Nation Inside Sports. The Giants content creator. Like I said, Leather to the Face. He'll be on tonight, man. Subscribe to his channel. He do all the boxing matches and stuff like that. If you want to watch it, the streaming and stuff like that, he play by play. Watch my brother, man. They have a great him in Wales to New Jersey, man. You know what I'm saying? So Leather to the Face will be on tonight at about 9 or 10 o'clock tonight.
10 o'clock. We're doing the UFC 305 tonight. Sean Israel Adesanya versus Sean Duplessis.
Okay, Israel, yeah, he's fighting again, man. Because I remember last month he got his ass whooped. But
yeah, he did. I remember he did.
Hey, he can win the title again tonight, though, against Duplessis, a strong fighter. That dude, the white boy from South Africa.
Yeah, that's who he is. Duplessis, right? Yeah. What's up, Big Lou? On this afternoon, bro. Just talking a little Knicks. I know we're doing Giants because we're gonna do the Giants stream. At 1 o'clock. Giants play the Texans today, so
I'm calling the game.
Yeah, I know. I'll be on there about 1 o'clock and stuff like that. We talking Knicks.
But I did want to touch on this real quick.
Right.
I don't think nobody's seeing the Knicks this year, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't think nobody's seeing the Knicks or the Giants this year. It seems like this is all year, and it will only be. It's only fair. If the end of the world is coming soon, Knicks and the Giants got to get their shine before it's over, son, because we the best. I don't give a fuck what nobody got to say. You know what I'm saying?
End of the world.
Yeah, God coming back to put the rock bottom down on everybody here in a minute. You see.
Oh, man.
They're going to put the smack down on everybody's candy ass.
The Knicks, so like I said, Knicks Nation and stuff, man. But yeah, like so I'm gonna put up the Knicks schedule, like to see like our first 10 games of the season, man. We got 7 road games in the first 10 games, of the season and stuff like that. I came back like, man, I said, what?
Man, do y'all remember when we won them, like, what was that, 16 straight games, bro? When OG came, what was it, 14? And then we won like 15 out of 16?
Right. It was like when we first got OG in that trade last year, man. It was like with Julius Randle and stuff like that, and Brunson and all.
And Julius Randle got hurt in the blowout. That was so, man. That was like, just think about. Just think about how crushing that was. That Julius Randle got hurt in a blowout, right? But then we still didn't lose no more games. Right. Think about how crazy that was. When Julius Randle got hurt, we was on win like number 11.
I think we started playing better when he got hurt.
I ain't gonna say that.
I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that.
It gave. That's when we had to start playing hard all of those minutes, and that's when OG had acclimated with the team a little bit. He had got about 11 games in. Then we won 6 out of the next 7 games, and then OG got hurt, and that then kind of dropped a little bit. But then we righted that ship. But it was just like, man, come on. We was world beaters. We was world beaters with OG. We beat the Nuggets. We beat everybody they sent in front of us. Everybody. Handily. Blew the Sixers out. We were just rolling over people. And I don't know how anybody competes. I don't think any team in the offseason did anything to match what the Knicks did. I'm trying to think about who made the biggest moves before we made that Mikal Bridges move.
That's how you feel about the Sixers move afterwards, you know what I'm saying? With
Escar. The just made some moves. But the Sixers got PG, right?
They got Paul George, and then they got Andre Drummond. Who else? They got Caleb Martin. Who else?
They trying. Unfortunately, they still got Embiid on the team.
Exactly. The Drummond thing doesn't work for that team because you got Embiid at the center. Right, so when did he really play? Because think about it, even when Embiid was playing against us, they was playing 40-something minutes. Remember in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So when do your backup center really play when you got Embiid at the center? Right, so I don't really the Drummond is, and if he goes down, you got Drummond as your starting center. Okay, I live with that as a Knicks fan.
Right,
I'll take that. Drummond be roasting us. It's how you play the Knicks to get 18 rebounds.
George, because he's as old. You know what I mean? You got an old Paul George. So now you got to reacclimate him into what Embiid Maxey had going on, so you brought a whole lot of new players in, and it's not so much of a plug and play players. We brought in a plug and play player in Mikal Bridges. That's the difference between us and we bring it back our majority of our team. I know some people may say, "Oh, we ain't got Hartenstein." You got to think about it like this. If you ask me who I want the money making Mitch, right? Because Hartenstein, he had to do that. He had all these players, Josh Hart, Dante, all these guys had to be that with OG out, with Randall out. But now you got all these guys back. So our Hart, he won't be the same. He won't have the ball in his hand as much as he had to have the ball in his hand when you got all these other guys coming back. So his effectiveness won't be there, and it won't be as hot, as bright as it was when it was just Brunson out there bringing the ball up, and we needed to have somebody take the ball out of Brunson's hand and distribute the ball, and that's what that was his strength. So we was able to use his strength to our advantage. But when you got all these players and everybody's coming back healthy, I just think you'll be all right with missing Hartenstein and having Mitch come back. Because he won't have to work so hard as he used to work. I'm gonna miss him too, but I just don't think the impact could be that much great as a lot of fans think. Like, oh man, we lost Hartenstein. Like, nah, yo, he was a bench player. Let's keep that. Right. Always remember that.
Yeah,
bench player.
Yeah.
So
he came in and helped on the boards, but that wasn't, he didn't do too much more than that.
Yeah, he overachieved, and he deserved that contract, and he deserved to go someplace and play 30 minutes a game consistently. But like you said, we fine without him. It would have been nice to have him, but if we would have had him now, he'd be underused. So I'm happy for him that he moved on, because in this roster, he ain't playing 33 minutes a game.
No, and you need to have Mitch out there. You need, like, even with Mitch, him being limited against Embiid, You saw the impact that he has on Embiid, him being a big body. You saw the impact with Mitch bring. He had Embiid kind of like frustrated to the point of now he wanted to hurt Mitch
He
because he
did.
can't.
Yeah, he
You know.
did.
And then you saw the difference of how Hartenstein guarded Embiid. He couldn't hold him. So you got to keep that in mind moving forward when you got to play against a Porzingis in the playoff. When you got to play against when they might bring Giannis and put Giannis at a 5 in the playoffs, you know. And then you got Embiid. So I mean, I'm okay. I like Hartenstein. I'm gonna miss him. I would have gave him a little $72 million. I was fine with giving him the money.
Right.
Because he was our player, but him, I'm not gonna miss him.
$30 million.
Yeah, I'm not gonna miss him. Not with the surrounding cast. And you know, everybody knows their job, so it's like everybody's gonna hit the board on this team. You know, not just him. Everybody's gonna hit the boards. So it's like everybody's gonna have assists. Everybody's gonna be doing this. So it's like it's no one player on this team that's really gonna stand out. I just think it's gonna be a team effort, what we was getting. I mean, Brunson's the leader, but it's team efforts.
I mean, you look at Josh Hart was getting more rebounds than Hartenstein. Josh Hart was getting like 15, 16 rebounds in the playoffs. So I was like, man, look at that, man. And like
that was just wild.
And he was getting a rebound where Hartenstein was supposed to be at, underneath the boards. That's where he was getting all his rebounds. It wasn't like long rebounds out the point line or something. He was getting underneath the basket. That's where he was getting his rebounds. Yeah. So how do you feel about the outlook on the Knicks season as far as the Knicks, like how far you think they could go? What is their record? How do you think the Knicks going to do this season if they still fully healthy, you know, throughout the season? I know injuries is part of the game, you know, that's the reality of it. But if we keep everybody intact, what do you think is Knicks going, how far they could go this season?
I said it when we started the show, as God heavy is the head that wears the crown. You got the bullseye on your back now. So it's like, that's it. It's no, if they go to the Eastern Conference Final, it's like our mentality should be championship or bust.
Of course.
You know, you want to see growth and you want to see everybody get better, but our mentality should be championship or bust going into the season. There should be no, let's make the East. Nah, I want to win a chip. You know, I want to win a chip. You took the baby steps already. This team that made the playoffs 3 out of the last 4 seasons with collectively. Now I want a chip now. So it's like I want that. I'm not saying that's where I project them to be, but that's where I would like to see them finish. Because anything else after that doesn't really matter. So if I say, oh, we're going to be the 1 seed in the East, but we don't win a championship, so what good is that? I want to win a chip. I forget seeding. Seeding doesn't matter to me anymore. I want a chip.
You said chip or bust?
Chip or bust. Chip or bust.
How do you think our record is going to be? What do you think our record is going to be? Because what we won 50 something last year. What do you think our record is going to be this season with everybody?
I think it'll be better. But it won't matter what seeding we play, what seeding we finish in. But it'll be better. We might win 55 plus games.
I'm thinking 55. I'm thinking if we healthy, I'm thinking we could finally crack 60 wins.
Mm-hmm.
If we have finally 60, because have we ever had 60 wins in a season? Close enough. We've been in the 50s sometimes, but I don't know if we ever cracked 60 wins in a season. I haven't even think about it. I never thought we won 60 games in a season, an NBA season before the Knicks. Even in the Patrick Ewing years when we had some the playoff teams, I think we was always like 50 something wins. But back it was like tougher too. It was like a lot of more parity back then too. But this season, I could finally see the Knicks finally crack the 60 win season if everybody stays healthy, man. I could see that.
Yeah, I don't think that's far-fetched. I mean, let me ask y'all guys a question. Which team did y'all see in the East? Not to change the subject, but just to see how you can project where the Knicks is going to finish at, right? Which team did y'all see really got better over in the off season, where you could see them making a push to compete with the Knicks, to compete with the Indianas, because it's like that's the 2 top teams. If you ask me, I mean not Indiana, I mean Boston and the Knicks is the 2 top teams. But do y'all guys see teams like Indiana, Philly, Milwaukee, Orlando? Do y'all guys see these teams making the next leap to push the Knicks and the Celtics?
You want me to go first?
Lou, you want to do it?
Do what?
He said, which team in the East that you seen could push the Knicks or something like that to contend with the Knicks in the East. You know what I'm saying? Other than Boston and New York, like which other team, like if you see like Orlando, Indiana, Philadelphia, do you think any team that helped themselves in the offseason to push New York or Boston?
Nah, but I hope we see Indiana again because we owe them a massive ass whooping on the court and off the court. I hope we have a team fight and all. Fuck them. I can't stand them motherfuckers. Ever since Reggie Miller, alien looking ass, I can't stand the Indiana Pacers. I never will. I hope they all break their damn legs.
The Pacers.
All right. I'll piggyback off of that by not saying any of that, but I'll piggyback off of that and say, looking at the Eastern Conference, Indiana didn't do anything, in my opinion, to get better. Right? I think maybe they'll be a little bit better with their chemistry or their belief in themselves, or they're just being healthy, or their camaraderie, whatever. So maybe they win a couple more games. Orlando Magic, same deal, right? They're not getting free agents. Indiana Pacers ain't getting free agents, right? That's why they had to make trades to get the players they got or just draft well. Orlando was a surprise. I think they have a fall off. I think they just surprised a lot of people this season, and I don't think they did anything roster-wise to get better. Will they get better from experience, age, and all that? I seen Paolo Banchero courtside out here, and he is the real deal. That boy can ball, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't see them getting better. I'm surprised with the moves that Milwaukee did not make. I think Milwaukee woke up and realized that they were Milwaukee, and nobody really wants to play in Milwaukee. When all said and done, who wants to go be a free agent in Milwaukee? Unless you think you're about to win a title. So I didn't see them make any moves either. Salary cap, they're struggling because they got Giannis and Dame under those contracts, and maybe that's why they couldn't make a move. Only team that really did make a move for real improvement is the Sixers, right? The Celtics didn't even make a move. The Celtics think that they have a championship roster, but in my opinion, they don't. I think they got a great 4 guys, but they had the easiest walk to the championship you'll ever see in the history of the league, right? Mm-hmm. Easier than the bubble, easier than the strike season. Nobody had an easier walk to the championship than the Celtics. I think this year they're going to really be tested. Now, they did win 60 games in the regular season, so okay, let's say they were really good. But the Sixers got better in 2 ways. For one, they got rid of Tobias Harris and his contract.
Right.
That's addition by subtraction, right? Then they bring in Paul George. They re-sign Kelly Oubre, who's erratic and sporadic, both the same. But he's a solid wing guy who can get you some minutes as long as he's not asked to play 35 minutes a game. Bring Paul George in, hopefully he's not starting. If Kelly Oubre is not being asked to be their starting 3, they've gotten better. And where they made it to last season, with what they had, they're at least 8 wins better this season. Can they beat us in a series now that we've gotten better? Could this Sixers team that they got beat our team that we played them in the playoffs with? Yeah, they would beat us without Jules. But this Sixers team that they got now can't beat our new Knicks team. And this team right now that the Sixers got can't beat our healthy last year team. So did they get better? Yes. Can they beat the Knicks in a playoff series? No. So I think this year it'll be, Knicks Celtics 1-2. I would just like to say as a homer, we the top seed, but let's just give it to the Celtics again. Knicks Celtics 1-2, Sixers 3. I think the Bucks might drop all the way to 5th. I don't know if the Pacers get that 4th seed. I'm forgetting about Cleveland, but Cleveland's another team who didn't do anything to improve. Because again, they're Cleveland. And they already wasted all their trade assets on Donovan Mitchell. They can't get better. They're stuck exactly who they are. Who they are is who they are. Unless they try to, I don't know what the Cavs could do to get better because they can't. They don't got no trade assets.
Right.
Unless Mobley just wakes up and decides he has an offensive game, and that other who else they got? Okora.
But Mobley
they just develop. They can get better by developing.
But Mobley just got paid. He just got $200-something million, man.
Owen got paid, right?
Well, I mean, they gotta resign him.
Then they re-sign Mitch. He ain't staying.
Yeah, they gotta some teams gotta resign guys. You gotta pay because nobody's gonna come to your team. So if you draft a guy and he's decent, you're gonna overpay for him. It just That's what's gonna happen with any draft pick that Orlando has. That's what's gonna happen when any player that the Pistons drafted. You draft players to those teams that just are kind of languishing. You ain't paying nobody else because you ain't got no superstars anyway. So you got to just pay your rookies. So that's my take on it.
I feel the same way that you feel as far as, like I said, I don't think no team really improved in the East in the offseason but Philadelphia. Milwaukee, like I said, they was salary cap strapped. You know what I'm saying? They got their same team. They didn't make no improvement. Indiana, like I said, they stay status quo. They just re-signed their own players and, came back with Siakam. I guess, another full season with Siakam. I guess that, that's they banking on the continuity thing and stuff like that. Halliburton is like, he's going to be healthy and stuff like that, ready to go, but they didn't make no improvement. What's the other team? Cleveland, same thing. They stay status quo. They just kept their own players and stuff like that. So the only team that really made improvement was the 76ers. But like, DSJ said right there, their biggest question is going to be durability, like the injury with Paul George, load management, Embiid, load management, be healthy most of the season or during the season or in the playoffs again. That's their biggest question, because if both of those dudes go down, that team is totally done. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, Caleb Martin helps, but it's like, hey, it's the same team again that we just beat up on. You know what I'm saying? But if Embiid and Paul George is out, yeah. But I'm speaking of all that, they are the third team in the East. I'll take them number 3 in the East. And they could push for number 2, depending on like injuries on the Knicks. You just never know. You know what I'm saying? But as far as if every team stays healthy, like I said, I think the Knicks will come out on top, even over Boston, over Philadelphia. Like I said, I don't care about none of these teams. I think the Knicks will beat all their asses. You know what I'm saying? And I know people talk about KP with Boston, but KP really, like I said, he's really is how can I say it? He's not a post player. He's more of like an outside. He stays on the perimeter. He's a perimeter player. That's all he does. You know what I'm saying? And he really can't post up. You know what I'm saying? He has problems.
Yeah, he don't get no boards no more. All the stuff. Maybe his first injury changed who he was gonna be as a player. But KP ain't. He came into the league jumping over people, getting put back dunks. He got hurt dunking over Giannis, and he only dunk no more.
Right.
Like, he's staying out the paint. He's staying out the way. He never was a good rebounder, especially for his height. He never averaged more than 7.5 rebounds a game, and the guy's 7'4". So he ain't trying to mix it up. He's an inconsistent big, just stretch big. He can hit threes, but he don't shoot them at a consistent rate. It's pretty when he makes them, just like when he was with us. His game is attractive. You know what I mean? But I guess he like that woman that's like fine, but no substance. Like, you want to be seen on a date with her, but you don't want to be talking on a date with her for long.
You don't want her to be heard, yeah.
I want to take you out, right? But just be quiet when we get there.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the game to me. His game is cute. His game is cute, man.
Hey, quick question. Sorry, this is unrelated. I forgot which channel. Is it on CBS?
For what?
The Giants game.
Nah, it's gonna be on like Fox in New York or something like that. It's like Fox.
Fox.
Yeah, on Fox.
Ooh.
But you could probably catch it on some other streaming thing or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm surprised.
He said Fox like Soulja Boy said Drake. Drake. It's like Fox.
Right.
I don't know why I found that so funny. Yeah. He said he couldn't believe it.
No, Fox be saying a bunch of racist shit all the time, man.
Yeah.
Can't fuck with the boys, man.
Fox New York or either Fox Houston or something like that.
Oh man, Fox.
Drake.
Yeah.
Oh man. Hey, somebody else said something good in the comments. I know DSJ said he said something. Does a veteran KCP help Orlando improve to a top 14? Are the Cavs hoping that a coaching change their fortunes? I didn't know the Cavs got rid of their coach.
Yeah, the Cavs did. They who's the new coach? Because it's not Bickerstaff no more. Bickerstaff went to Detroit. He's the coach of Detroit now. Who is the Cavs coach? I was like, man. Oh, it's Atkinson. It's Kenny Atkinson.
Yeah, I don't know how that helps them, and they just implode. They
hire.
The Cavs, I don't know what's up with the Cavs. I mean, the Cavs just look like Utah East. They gonna be the 4th or 3rd seed somewhere along the line. They're gonna win enough games in the regular season. They're gonna get to the playoffs, and Donovan Mitchell gonna either underperform or get hurt. Spider is a beast, and I have nothing against Spider because Spider is not the player that spurned us. He wanted to be a Knick, it just didn't happen. So I could never like have love lost for him or hate him. Right? He ain't one of the players that we wanted who didn't want to come to us. Right. So I feel bad every time I see him go out there and drop 40 something, and he ain't a Knick. But I'm fine with him not being a Knick. I ain't trying to make it all season. They were talking about, the trade for Donovan Mitchell. I'm like, why? What are we doing here? Why would we trade for Donovan Mitchell? Let him stay over there. And it was a dream that never happened. But I just don't see. I mean, Mobley would have to make a huge leap. I'm talking about he would be in the offseason working on being a 3-and-D center for them to make any kind of real jump, man. And I don't know. Garland is nice, but I think Garland just hit his peak. Garland is what Garland is. He can get you some buckets, but he can also disappear. He ain't Maxey. Like Tyrese Maxey already leapfrogged him. Sure, Garland might get you 31 game here or there, but Tyrese Maxey a dog who could take over a game. That ain't Darius Garland. Darius Garland to fade into the behind the curtains.
You saw that in the playoffs. I mean, Garland when they had a lot of health injuries and stuff like that, and he didn't step up. I didn't think he stepped up enough. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, not even. And I don't see KCP moving the needle for Orlando. KCP is a solid. He adds some veteran presence to their team. Mm-hmm. But I still can't believe Orlando made it to where they made it last year. But in the playoffs, it showed their youth. You know what I mean? When it all boiled down to it, they ain't ready. They one or two players away from being a threat, not a contender, but a threat. And that one player ain't KCP.
Right. So I think with them, I think they needed like a point guard because, like I said, they got Banchero, they got the Wagner brothers, and stuff like that. But they just
because Fultz ain't the point guard of the future.
Cole, who is it? Cole Anthony, and who's the other one?
Markelle Fultz. Cole Anthony was balling, but they still relegated him to being like a combo guard, still coming off the bench.
Suggs.
Yeah. Suggs. Yeah, Jalen Suggs. Yeah, he could mature and make that step. He got some game, but I seen him in person, and I was like, he's a player that disappears. He's not. He'd have to make that step that what's the guy that played for Denver?
You talking about who? Are you talking about Murray?
Yeah, that don't never make the he don't never make the All-Star team, but in the playoffs he steps up. You would have to see something like that from Jalen Suggs. Like he'd have to consistently be getting you like 18 and 8 with like 2 turnovers, and I don't see that being his game. He's too sporadic.
Orlando had the Knicks number. They had a number last season, but that's what I mean. But we wasn't healthy every time we played Orlando. I think it's Orlando, Boston, and those are the teams that we never really played healthy at. You know what I'm saying? So they did last year, but like I said, it's a new season, and we'll see if they have our number this year. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Only thing I wish is health on our team because, like I said, coming into the season, I feel good about our chances against anybody. I ain't afraid of nobody. So I'm gonna take a look at this Knicks schedule and stuff like that, man. It's like to see these first 10 games of the season. Like I said, 7 of them are on the road. So I want to see like how you feel about them these games.
Who is Johnny Bryant?
He's assistant coach on. Our assistant coach. He left us and went to.
Okay. I thought they were saying the player named Johnny Bryant. I said, wait a minute.
He left us and went to their staff and stuff like that. So. You can see the schedule and stuff like that.
Nostalgic Nick said, first 10 games, we're going to go 7-3. I mean, we're going to lose some games. But I'm going to tell you, man, the OG trade hurt at first because IQ was my favorite Nick. I got a chance to see him up close many times. He's electric. He's one of the funnest Knicks to watch, and I'm going to miss watching him play. But I never thought that OG's defense would mean that much to the team. I mean, he came on the team, we won 11 straight games. And it was like, and he was consistently hitting threes that RJ was missing. And he wasn't scoring 20 points, but his impact was way more than 20 points. Like RJ consistently got, he averaged 20 points a game, damn near since a rookie. You know what I mean? Like RJ, when you look at his average, he was at that 19.2, 18.9, whatever. RJ was going to get you 20 points. And it wasn't like a inefficient 20 points, but it wasn't the most efficient 20 points. But it's like OG 15 points was more impactful because he seemed to get a breakaway putback dunk. He seemed to hit that corner three that RJ would miss. Well, RJ never was really good at hitting a corner three. RJ was like, he was more like top of the key on the wing three. OG's gonna hit that corner three. He's gonna slash to the bat. It was like he was doing all those intangible things, creating steals that he didn't even get credit for. Jumping in the passing lane with his long arms and forcing a guy into a bad situation. When you watch the film breakdown of OG's impact in the game,
right,
it's like, man, like, and the proof was in the pudding. We was beating everybody. I don't see us losing too many games.
Think about him on the side up.
That was crazy, man. And you take the chemistry that you got dudes that's four best friends playing together. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, who sits on the bench? That's my only biggest concern. I think guys have to buy in from the beginning of this is the championship run. So DiVincenzo, you prove that you are a starter 34, 35, 36 minute a game player on a playoff championship contender team. But now we only need you to play 28 minutes. Josh Hart, you played 48 minutes for us, got us almost to the Eastern Conference Finals. But now we only need you to play like 28 minutes. Because remember, Josh Hart was complaining about his role before everybody got hurt.
Right.
Remember that? He went from complaining about his role playing 48 minutes. And know why he's complaining about his role? Because he believed he should be playing 36, 38 minutes a game. And then, it happened for him. And he proved, he showed and proved. Hey, man, I took the minutes. I made the most of it. But you're going to be asking a lot of guys, man, to say, hey, sit on the bench.
You know why he was doing that? Because that was his contract season. That's why he wanted to play more of this. You know what I'm saying? Now he got his contract.
You're right. It was right. Hey, look, man, you hurt my pocket, man, by not playing me. But so how do these guys go into this season when you're saying to Mikal Bridges, you were a starter on a sorry Nets team and you were playing 48 minutes a game. Now we only need you to play 30 minutes. I don't know how, because who's on the bench?
Well,
so think about the roster. Who's the starting roster now, right? You got JB. Devo is the two guard. If you look at the way the roster say, he's the two guard. Mikal Bridges he's a three.
No, I'm gonna say like this. It's gonna be Mitch, Julius, OG, Mikal, and JB. They're gonna be the starters.
So Mikal just gonna start
at two.
You ain't gonna let him win 6th man of the year.
No,
somebody should be shooting for 6th man of the year. Let's just say that. Somebody got to be 6th man of the year.
Let Dante get it.
Dante can get it.
Okay.
Yeah, let him get it.
So we just start. For defense, I mean, that's amazing. If you got Mikal Bridges guarding, the 2 position, and you got OG who can guard 2 through 5. That's what I'm saying. I just don't know how a team matches up against us when you got that kind of length and that kind of talent on a defensive end. Mm-hmm. So you got Devo and Hart now coming off the bench. Okay. Yep. All right. Hey, that was their role going into last season. So basically, they just reset back to their role. I respect that.
Think about it like this too. You got Mitch in the middle. You have him in the middle. One of the issues with Mitch always getting hurt is he's overworked. We always talk about it, right? As guard having to cover for the guards.
Everybody's mistake, right?
Right. Everybody's mistake. Now, with him not having to do that, he doesn't have to be he doesn't have to find himself in positions where he don't need to be in of covering somebody else. And now he can just stay pat now. He don't have to exert a lot of energy. He don't got to getting caught with his ankles getting twisted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So life is going to be a whole lot easy for this.
I just realized the time.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just a whole lot easier.
Real quick though, man.
Man, he's got some good comments, man. Scott, I'm gonna have to depart, family. Bridges Gardner PG. That's on point. These comments are great, man. I wish I could stay longer, but man, me and the missus, we got a long drive out to go spend some time with some friends out here. Man, I appreciate you having me on though. Appreciate meeting some other brothers in chat. And hopefully we can do this again soon. But man, life been crazy for me. I haven't, well, nobody really knows, but me and my wife, we building a house out here. So we got a lot going on right now. So I'm gonna be in touch with you gentlemen. And let's go Knicks, let's go Giants, let's go
Hey,
Yankees. This the year,
congratulations,
man.
man. That's a beautiful thing for you
This
and
the
your wife,
year.
bro. That's a
If
beautiful thing for
we
you
can
and
get
your
some
wife.
consistency out of our closer with them Yankees,
Hey, Lou, hold on. Yo, where's your house? Is it in Charlotte? Because Lou's in North Carolina too.
I'm like 20 minutes north of Charlotte. I'm out in Lake Norman in Mooresville.
Oh man, I'm 40 minutes from you, bro. You know I renovate homes, right?
Oh no, for real. We got to touch base. Where you at?
I'm in Winston-Salem.
Okay, yeah, that's close. Yeah, that's close. That's close. S guy behind the scenes, work us some contact.
Okay, I'll do
when you
that.
get some time, brother.
I'll do. I'll give you some. I'll give both of y'all each other's numbers and stuff like that.
All right, I appreciate y'all, man. One.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. See how God work?
Right. You see how God work, Lou? But yeah, so I'm gonna do this. The first 20 games of the season, we're gonna go through it and see how you feel about the win losses and stuff like that. The first game of the season is gonna be against Boston at Boston. Ceremony for Boston for the rings and stuff like that, man. How you feel? Is it gonna be a win or an L for the Knicks?
A win for the Knicks.
Me too. Definitely a win. Gonna trash Celtics, man.
Win.
I feel good about that. Man, I feel good about that game. Like I said, I think the Knicks going to send a strong message in that game and stuff like that. So they really going to be focused on that game.
Yeah.
So that's a W. What about you, Lou? Lou, you still there?
I don't see nobody beating the Knicks, man. I think we've made some good moves this year. I think, like the Giants offensive line is going to take a couple games for these guys to come together and get their chemistry right. But once that happens, bro, I don't see too many people even giving us competition, man.
Yeah. All right. So
I will say this though, Asgard. We're not sure if Randall or Mitch is gonna play in that first game.
You talking about they ain't gonna be ready by training camp and all that stuff? I mean, after training camp, I know they was talking about that. They was talking about that recently and stuff like that. But I think even without
Randall should be, but I don't know about Mitch.
Okay, well, like I said, even if we don't have them, like I said, it's like we got either one of them or something like that. I think we still have a good.
We need at least one. Yeah.
I mean, because as long as you got OG and Mikal in there, we should be all right. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't even like thinking about that too much. And then, like I said, the bench is gonna have Devo and Josh Hart coming off the bench and stuff and pressure. So we cool with that. All right. So the second game is gonna be Indiana at Madison Square Garden. That's gonna be the Knicks gonna be focused on that game. That's gonna be a dub again. Another dub. And then our next game is on the road. I mean, it'll be home against Cleveland, you know what I'm saying? So this will be the first time that Cleveland will come in like fully healthy, you know, say with Mobley and these guys and stuff like that with Garland and stuff like that. I'll feel the same way.
Snatch their hearts.
Another dub, you know.
Another dub.
Then the next game is going to be at Miami, playing the Heat and stuff like that. Let me see what they do in the offseason. You know what I'm saying? They ain't really do too much. Bam. And they basically brought back the same, right? They brought back the same squad. They just drafted Kyle Ware and stuff like that. And let me see.
This might be the game we lose because you get a team like Miami, right? A team like Miami, they get up for wanting to prove, like wanting to change the narrative. You know, understand what I'm saying? So they'll get up for the Knicks game. You know, it's like when LeBron come to town. You remember how last year, how LeBron and them they didn't play the games prior to coming into the Garden, but they played at that Garden game. You know, they wanted to, and we was coming off a winning streak. They wanted to be the ones that ended our winning streak. So Miami's one of the teams like that team. So that's a scary game. Not to say they better than us, not by far, but Miami get up for that team, and so we got to be careful with that one.
Yeah, so
if any game that I think we lose, that'll probably be that.
Right,
game.
that's what I was thinking about. The same things when I was looking at the schedule. All right, so far there's 3-1 right there. You know, next game is Detroit. Everybody know that that's a dub. It don't even matter at Detroit in New York. It don't matter where that game is at. So that's a dub. Okay, the next game is Houston. Now, and that one is a little bit of a what you call it, Houston, because like I said, they improved last year. They were one of the most surprised team last
Beat
year.
us twice.
Did they? I mean, did they beat us?
Yeah, man. I think when they beat us at the game, that was the game that Brunson fouled homeboy when we was winning that game.
The
Right. Know what I mean?
Right. I remember that now, and then we lost.
So I think we owed them. We owed Houston. We owed them.
Yeah,
I think they snuck out one in the Garden too. So when we were down in Houston, we was supposed to got that game back.
Yeah, but that ain't gonna be an easy cakewalk though. It's not gonna be an easy cakewalk. So that one, like I said, so what do you say? That's a dub.
Yeah, we our team was on a different level. We're not looking at this from fans' perspective anymore. You know, when we used to do this before, it used to be from a fan's, like a Knicks perspective. Right. You know, wanting your team, like, yeah, yo, I know I gotta see us win, and no, I gotta see us. Nah. If you think this team is a championship contending team, then these are the teams they are supposed to beat. We shouldn't be going back and forth with a Houston, a Detroit, an Atlanta. You know, no, that's a win.
Beat the teams you're supposed to win. Yeah,
you want 60 wins, you got to
beat.
Win. It's a win. It's a win.
That's right. You got to beat the teams you're supposed to win because, like I said, at the end of the season, it adds up, man. You know what I'm saying? When you look back, you be like, man, we should have won those games. Those are games we should have won. You know what I'm saying? It's like those are games you got to take care of business right then and there. Don't give them no chance to come on, to give them a shot at beating you. All right, so let's see what the next one is going to be. Okay.
I hate to cut it short, bro, but I got to go because I got to set up my stream.
Oh, yeah. I know you got to, man. I'll be on there and stuff, bro.
All right.
But thanks for coming through. Let people know where they're gonna find you at stuff before you roll out.
Oh man, G Nation Inside Sports on all platforms: Facebook, X, Twitter. X is Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Man, G Nation Inside Sports got you for all your boxing, UFC, and all your football needs. You know what I'm saying? Come subscribe, chill out with us, man, and enjoy some sports with some real niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir, bro. I'll see you there. Thanks for coming through again, man. Thanks for showing
Always,
up.
bro. You know you remember the Big Blue Crew. We got to support.
That's right, bro. All right, I'll see you. All right. So who's the next one? Next one is that's the game we trying to go. We going to we ain't trying. We gonna go to that game here in Atlanta.
Yeah, we ain't trying. We going to that game. We ain't trying to do nothing.
That's the dub. That's always the dub, you know what I'm saying? Because Atlanta, in the offseason, they got rid of DeJounte Murray. That was a big what you call for him, you know what I'm saying? I thought he added to him, and that took a big thing from them when they got rid of DeJounte Murray, traded him and stuff like that. And they really ain't add nobody else though.
Yeah, I don't think they got back equal talent for him. Me personally, I don't think they got back equal because I'm a big fan of his. I would love to have him. It used to be talk of him or Mikal Bridges if we would have got one of those two guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what he brings to the table and what Mikal Bridges brings to the table. And we happen to get Mikal, you know. But I always thought that he was a good fit on this team as well. And I was always advocating for him to come on the Knicks or for the Knicks to go get him. And I don't think it would have cost him. I don't think it would have cost no 5 picks if we wouldn't have got him. But Mikal Bridges is a different kind of player than he is.
All right, so
he's
far,
a true lockdown defender.
So far we 6-1 right now in the first 10 games, 6-1. Next game is home against Milwaukee, and welcome, Giannis and these guys back and stuff like that. And last year we beat them, right? We had them like what? How many times we beat them? Like 2 or 3 times? Like, was it? Like we
beat them 2 out of it. We beat them 2 times out of it. We faced them 5.
Oh, okay, so we won 2 out of 5, but this one I'm looking at. This is a dub for us. This is a dub. I got us with a dub against Milwaukee because like I said, these are the teams that you got to send a message against, like the Milwaukee's, the Sixers, and the Boston. You got to really bring your A game, and I think, like I said, Brunson, these guys are going to be more motivated, especially at home in the Garden too. Yeah, we got this one, man. That's 7-1 right there. Next up, Indiana at Indiana.
They might get us that game.
He said, oh, let me see, because we play Friday in Milwaukee, so it could be a letdown game or something like that. Dang.
because you got Philly behind them, and I think that Philly game is a little bit more. I don't think we look at Indiana the same way. Yeah, we know, like everyone deep down inside knows the reason why they beat us. You understand what I'm saying? And it was even more proven that when they got swept the next round. It's like it's levels to it, and it was for the Knicks too. It's levels. We had to go through the levels. You can't skip the level. You can't. We saw that with the Hawks. Perfect example. You can't skip the process. Can't skip the process. And what they did was they skipped the process. You know, it don't work that way because what happens is now this year coming in, you're not gonna be the same team because teams are gonna even play them differently now. Teams are gonna play them differently, just like the Hawks. When the Hawks skipped the process, went on, they went to the Eastern Conference Finals. They never was the same team. They never was the same team. You know, and it almost happened to the Knicks when we skipped the process when we went to the playoffs. The first year we had Tibbs, and we went out there. We signed Fournier and Kemba Walker and all them guys. You know, we tried to skip the process, and you see what happened. The next year we didn't make the playoffs. It's levels to this, Escar. It's levels, baby.
Of course. Hey, I understand, man. I feel the same way too, man. So that means we're gonna be 7-2. That's 7-2. I mean, because Pacers is a loss, and then the last game and the Sixers at Philadelphia. So we back to back at Philadelphia.
We'll get there.
That's the first game. That's the first game right there that they really gonna bring their, because they playing us is like they're gonna be healthy. We're gonna be healthy. And that's when they want to send a message too with Philadelphia. That's gonna be an all-out drag-out fight, but I expect us to win that game too.
I expect us to win that game because of chemistry issues with them. What's that? How many games? Was that the 10th game of the season? They still gonna have work to do. You know what I mean? Us, we don't have any work to do. It's like our players is plug and play players. You know what I mean? Like, when you go look at the house, they got what they call turnkey shit that is ready. You know what I mean? It's ready for you to move right on in. And that's how our team is. You bringing in Paul George. You understand what I'm saying? You bringing in another superstar to add on to 2 all-stars and 1 superstar. You understand what I'm saying? That's going to take some work. That's going to take some work.
Yeah, OG can guard. Yeah, he can guard from time to time, man. He's like, depending on if Mitch is in foul trouble or Mitch is, what I'm saying? But yeah, and OG, man, like I said, that dude can guard 1 through 5, man. So you saw it last year in the playoffs and stuff like that, man. Like I said, hopefully this season he can come back really healthy, man, because I think he left with a hamstring. That hamstrings are real tricky. That's the only thing with them hamstrings, man. They tricky. And once you get them, it's almost like they're like a sprained ankle. Once you get them, it's like, hey, it's to re-aggravate them, and it is. Some roll through the next 10, you know what I'm saying? These early ones look like, we got Brooklyn back-to-back. Brooklyn back-to-back.
Look at this. Look at after that. You got Chicago.
In New York.
Brooklyn.
Oh yeah, right? I forgot.
Who did DeMar DeRozan go to? Who he went to?
He went to Sacramento. He went to the Kings.
He went to the Kings, right?
He got traded to the Kings.
And Harrison Barnes left and went to San Antonio.
Yeah, he went to the Spurs. So Chicago really
Spurs trying to do something. Yeah,
Chicago didn't add nobody to their roster.
No, they done. Yeah,
so
look at that. You got now. I'm just saying, if you want to win 60 games, Escar, these games. See, people may say like, oh, now we got him at. If you got him at let's say we got him at 8-2 or whatever, starting the season out, and then winning the next couple of games, right? So now if you got him at 8-2, go in Chicago, win. Go in Brooklyn, win. Brooklyn again, win. Washington, win.
Those two are in New York. Those 2 games are in New York. The Brooklyn game, they had Madison Square Garden, both of them back to back at Madison Square Garden.
I mean, it don't matter where we play them at. You know that.
Brooklyn that's Madison Square Garden too. That's MSG 2 right there.
Yeah. I mean, it don't matter. I've been in the Barclays. 3 times for games. I've been there. He
said, "Trust me."
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So those 3 games right there. Those are the gimme games. Those are games we got to get advantage of those games.
Then you got Phoenix. Look, then you got Phoenix down there as guard. It's like, come on, man. What we doing here?
Okay, after the 2 Brooklyn games in New York, then you got Washington. That's another one. That's another gimme game because Washington, they rebuilding. Then there's the next one in Phoenix, at Phoenix, you know what I'm saying? So against the big 3.
What we doing, Asgard? What we doing? Like, I mean, if this team is going to be a contender, I'm just keeping it a beam, bro. Like,
bro, I'm keeping it a
we
buck.
supposed to beat these teams. We better than these teams.
I listen. I know that. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying that, like, at the Phoenix game, it's like if the big three want to come and show up, but they really got a big two to me because it's just Booker and probably Durant. Because Bill, I don't know, for some reason he just hasn't clicked in with them, or I don't know what's going on. It just something is off. Something is off over there. So I think that's going to be another dub for us at Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? Utah, the next game after that at Utah, that's going to be another dub. So I don't care. They got Laurie Markin and whoever that's another dub for us. Denver, then at Denver, that's the game at Denver. I don't know. We blew them out last year by 30 points in New York.
And they got us back. They probably win. Denver probably get that game. Denver is a team you got to watch this season, especially with them getting ousted the way they got ousted. They're gonna be trying to come back with a vengeance because they're gonna look at it like they got their chip. Their window of opportunity may be closing because it's like that in the NBA now. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like the times of repeats is like because teams is constantly getting better. It's more money involved. So the landscape of the champions is changing from year to year. That's why the Knicks have to seize the opportunities. Like, so when we play against these teams, you supposed to, you talk a championship, you're supposed to win these games. You're supposed to win these games. But Denver is a championship team. So, and you up in Denver and they got a lot to prove. I see that as a loss. I see the Dallas game as a loss. Some strange reason we haven't played good.
I don't see the Denver one as a loss. I see the Denver one as a Knicks win because Denver, I mean, they lost KCP, they lost some a little bit other people. So really, it's only like Jokic and Murray and stuff like that. And of course, Michael Porter, he shows up when he wants to and stuff like that. So I don't think they have a big bench. I don't think they have a bench like that. So
they lost Shooter. Was a Shooter on their squad? Who was on their squad? Reggie Jackson.
He's on Philly now. So yeah, so I see that as a win for the Knicks at Denver. I see that as a win. And then next game, Dallas at Dallas. I know Dallas got what they do in the offseason. Dallas, who did they get? Oh, they got Klay Thompson. And who else did they get? Was it just Klay?
That was it. I think it was it.
The other thing was just Klay. Yeah, I mean, the thing with Dallas is like Klay Thompson, he don't really move the needle too much for me on Dallas.
Nah, me neither, as God.
You know what I'm saying? Kyrie and Luka, like I said, those guys are good, but those guys, for some reason, they're always hurt at some point. So you just never know with those guys. So me personally, like I said, we going healthy. I see us with a dub over there. I see us with a dub at Dallas. Now, can we lose that game? Yeah, we can lose that game. You know what I'm saying? But I see us as a dub in Dallas.
Yeah, we can lose that game. We haven't played good since Brunson and been on a squad going back out to Dallas. We haven't beaten them out there. When we had that game, and there's always been some crazy nonsense out there in Dallas. Remember the last time Luka, we was up 5 or whatever. Luka threw the ball, missed the shot, grabbed his own rebound, went back up, caught the N1. Some out of world stuff. So,
right.
Oh man. So yeah, that could go down. That's a televised game too.
So how you look at Dallas? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I mean that could go either way. Not as far as talent. It's just like something like when we go back to Dallas, we haven't beaten them yet since Brunson's been on the squad. So
right,
he's played good out there.
Well, we lost that game. We lost that game last year. Was that Kyrie dropped? What he dropped 40, 50? It was something like that. Kyrie had a big game against us.
Yeah, he had a huge game against us. And then prior to that, Randall used to go down there and get busy. Because mind you, that's where he's from. So he used to go down there and get busy. That was like his homecoming. So I don't know. Like since Brunson been on the squad, we ain't beat him. So maybe we'll get this one. Maybe we won't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, but it won't bother me if we lose because at this point in time, we'll be floating through the schedule. So like a loss here, loss there won't bother us.
And next up, we got another game on TV against the Charlotte Hornets at Charlotte. It's a noon game. It's a noon
game on TV, right? What's that game?
It's on NBA TV.
So look, you put that game on NBA TV, and then we play New Orleans with Zion. And you don't put that game on.
Right.
Make it make sense.
Right.
Make it make sense.
That Charlotte game is definitely a dub. That's definitely a dub right there on Charlotte. The next game, the next game, New Orleans down. That's a game that's like, they got a little squad over there. You know what I'm saying? They got DeJounte Murray on there now. If them guys are healthy, got Zion, Brandon Ingram, McCollum. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who they
We at
center.
home.
Center.
We at home.
No, that game. You know what? Yeah, they
Dallas
visit.
Shooters.
Yeah, they visit us. They come. It's in New York. Yeah, they come to New York. So it's in the
That's
Garden.
hard. I'm gonna say
So
it like this: if you consider yourself a contender, these
that's
are
it.
you're supposed to win games. I'm sorry, you're supposed to beat the team. This is yeah.
I totally
Like
agree, man.
Boston did it last year. Boston beat the team they were supposed to beat. Like that was it. They did
So
it. They won
so
60 games.
so if you getting that dub right there, like look at that first 20 games, man. It looked like we're gonna be like 18-2 or 17-3, somewhere around there.
Man, I give
That's
it
what,
some. We
that's
can
what
be
we're supposed to
16-4. We finish
do.
16-4.
Right. Well, 16-4 is like, yo, that's great out the
Mm-hmm.
gates for your first 20 games. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to do a lot. In order to win 60 games, you got to win like at least 15, 16, at least 20 games, 17 games out of 20. Like 4 parts to it, depending on how your season going and stuff like that. And like I said, if these guys can stay healthy, of course, like I always say, injuries is part of the game. So, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But if we healthy, man, like I said, I ain't even worried about none of these other teams and stuff like that, man. It's always going to depend on us, what we have to do, what is going to happen with us. You know what I'm saying? Because we deep. A lot of teams that we're going to play, they might have a good starting five, but a lot of them got a bad benches. Their benches are weak, and that's where we're going to get them at, those and then the bench. And that's what teams don't. When they play us, it's like we're deep. Some other teams, they have a good starters, but they have no bench, and that's where they lose games at.
Yeah, you're right.
So going into the season, like I said, man, I feel like we can win 60-some games. Like I said, we could battle Boston for that number one in the Atlantic Division, you know what I'm saying, and possibly win the Atlantic Division for the first time, which guess what? If we win it, it's not going to surprise me at all because, like I said, we're building this team the right way. We're building this team with depth. We're building this team to contend, man. So, hey, if you want to be a contender, you got to beat the best. You know what I'm saying? You got to play against the best and beat the best. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to be right there with Boston. I know a lot of people say, oh, they beat y'all like 3-4 times last year. It's like, yeah, but we didn't see them at full strength. And yeah, early in the season, Boston ain't going to be at full strength either because KP ain't going to be there for a minute.
At least
he's
the
still
quarter, first quarter part of the season, right?
Right. He's going to miss like the first quarter of the season and stuff like that. So we really going to get to see Boston like in the middle of the season, towards the end of the season when we really play them and both teams at full strength, then we really could get to see what can happen. But even still, like I said, playing Boston in a playoff series and stuff like that, I'm not worried about those guys, man. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I'm worried about, the only thing that's going to stop us is health. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't worried about it. Boston, Philly, Milwaukee. Those are going to be the other top teams right there. Out west, they're going to do their thing out west. They're going to take care of themselves out there. You know what I'm saying? But how you see as the West? Like, who is the top contenders in the West that you see in the West?
Minnesota. OKC.
Mm-hmm.
See, probably Dallas probably going to be right there. They probably going to be more consistent than they was last year.
Right.
They know they're going to have to be. I also see New Orleans right there. So probably like the New Orleans, probably like that 4th seed or something like that. A sleeper team in the West. Wow. Because I after that, it's just going to be like the Lakers trying to compete, Sacramento, them teams like that. They're going to be bouncing all around. Huh?
You thinking about that one team with John Morant back with Memphis?
Yeah, them too. So consider them one of the teams. I don't consider them as a top 5 team, top 4 team, I should say.
Right.
But I can see them being the 5th seed,
Right.
And it's just like that. It's like that in the East. But the sleeper team would be, for me, probably in the West Coast, will probably be the Rockets.
What's good, NYG? Oh yeah, the Rockets. That's you're right. Rockets are a team.
The Rockets. Yeah, they coming, and they look all right. They look all right.
Yeah, I think to me it's like it is the Rockets, and like I said, for me it's just Memphis, man. For some reason, if John Morant gets his head straight and gets back in the game, because like I said, they basically got the same team that they had before when he left out with Desmond Bain, saying Jaren Jackson, Clark and stuff like that. Yeah, they don't have Dylan Brooks anymore, but they got they got Zach Edey too, the rookie, the big guy. I want to see how he's going to be into their because if he can really transform them, what I'm saying, as far as like a guy who could be on the floor and contribute and stuff, which I think he can, it's going to change a lot. That dude has size at 7'4" and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So that middle ain't going to be as easy as with him and Jaren Jackson. If they both of them playing in there, it's going to be hard to get down in that paint. And he's a guy who can also on offense. He has some post up moves and stuff like that. He can score on offense, so he's not like a liability on offense. So that's another guy you might have to double team and stuff like that to open up their offense and stuff like that too. But like I said, but we'll see what happens with him because, like I said, that was a great pick for him. I know when they made that pick, I was like, man, that's a good pick for Memphis and stuff. They got rid of Steven Adams, and I think it was just Steven Adams. They got rid of him and stuff like that. And that guy, like I said, Zach Edey, like I said, he was a college, I want to say college player of the year and stuff like that. So that was a good pick for him and stuff like that. So that'll be my sleeper team is Memphis and probably Houston too, because Sacramento Sacramento should be better too. So they got rid of Barnes and got DeMar DeRozan. And DeMar DeRozan, that's a bucket getter. Like 20 points a game and stuff like that. So I think he works better with them and stuff like that. And then we'll see how De'Aaron Fox do. Sabonis, DeMonte Sabonis, the double machine like Julius Randle. You know what I'm saying? So that's a team right there too, like Sacramento and stuff like that. Like you said. So hey, it's gonna be great, man. Like I said, basketball this season, I can't even wait for the NBA this season, man. It's gonna be great on both sides of the East and the West. What I'm saying, it's gonna be good. These games are gonna be much more competitive, much more parity in the league and stuff like that. So Knicks fans, like I said, this is the first time we've been hyped up in a long time. You know what I'm saying? It's like
I don't even have no anticipation for the season. It's just like that's how much yeah for the first time. That's how I was going to. I was a little bit like I want to see, but then when we started playing and I started seeing the team play, it was like, yeah, this team's pretty good. This team is pretty good. And they showed us they was pretty good, and then to come back healthy, it's like I'm like, the season can start whenever. The regular season doesn't matter to me anymore. As God,
I know.
I gotta keep it real. If this team is gonna be considered a contender, the regular season it got to be treated like a stepping stone. Has to be treated like a stepping stone, because I wouldn't be surprised if Boston treated that way. You see the teams win a championship and they treat it that way, like they treat the regular season like now it's just a stepping stone. Players get more rest. Teams just take a bunch of nights off. They not worried about where they're seating at. You understand? All they worried about is like getting to the playoffs. Let's go get this chip.
So, my boy only got a question. He said, "You a Yankee fan?"
So absolutely. Hell yeah.
You got
I'm a Yankee fan. Now I got it on. I got a tattoo of the Yankees. I got a Yankee cap. That's my signature. I got the Yankee cap tatted on my arm right here. Right there
you go, bro. He Yankee to the bone. You know what I'm saying? Yankee to the bone. Yankee Knicks big talk. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Hey, I feel the same way too, man. As far as like I said with the Knicks, is like, like I said, sometimes like I said, fans, when your team is kind of supposedly good, you don't worry too much of regular season. You want to worry about the playoff, the postseason, because you want to see how these guys really going to perform in the postseason.
Yeah.
That's where it's at. You know what I'm saying? What that saying say, heroes are made in the regular season, but legends are made in the postseason. So I always say, man, hey, in the postseason, I'm looking for the Derek Jeters, man. I'm not looking for the A-Rods. I'm looking for the Derek Jeters. You know what I'm saying? I need guys that's gonna step up in the big moments when it counts. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, we already know we already fucking know Brunson. You're gonna be ready to play and stuff, man. So it's gonna be
but who else you need to see something from? I mean, we done saw it from everybody, Asgard. I mean, you saw it. What do you need to see in the playoffs outside of Cats being healthy, right? I know people with the first name and like, Randall, what he gonna do in the playoffs? Like, nah, it's a different team. He can't. He's not the focal point of what he had to be when he had to be the focal point. He's not. It's not that same team no more.
Right.
It's a different team. So with Mikal Bridges, he went to the finals. This dude he's been on the finals team. So how he performs in the playoff. Right. How Dante, he got a chip.
Right.
OG got a chip. See what I'm saying? So
And
you know these guys is all playoff ready. Like regular season, like let's get up out of here. Let's go straight to the,
and the thing,
But you can't skip the process. Even when I was talking about skipping the process, you can't skip the process. So you still got to go to the regular season. You still got to go play. But you need to go out there, and if you're gonna be a championship contending team or compete for a title, them games that we're talking about, you're supposed to win.
of course,
It's no other way to pit it. You're
all them
supposed to beat those teams you're supposed to beat.
right, all them gimme games is like, yo, you can't take no night off. You gotta win those games, man. Because like I said, those games mean like I said, yeah, you could get the first seed, but really and truly, if your team is deep and also you don't care about the first or the second seed, you know what I'm saying? You can, because it's like you just want to get in the playoffs and stuff like that. Yeah, you want some home court, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you want the home court, but hey, if you positive in your team, you confident in your team, it's like, hey, we gonna do whatever we need to do, man. You know, teams don't want to see us, and that's the thing. That's how you're gonna figure like get to the playoffs. Teams don't want to see us. You know, like I said, there's a lot of teams that got good starters, but they don't have a bench. And if they do have a bench, it's not really that good. You know what I'm saying? It's like they trying to get more bench help. You know what I'm saying? So with us, it's like we got a lot of depth now. We got guys who's playing in the playoffs last year, like Hearthstone said, it's like guys was backups. Those were our backups that was playing, that was starting, and in the playoffs. Hartenstein, Josh Hart, DiVincenzo, all these guys. You know what I'm saying? Precious Achua was starting games. It's like that. We was running out of bodies. You know what I'm saying? We was running out. We was running out of. It was like an infirmary around here. You know what I'm saying? So, hey man, I'm ready for the season, man. Ready to get started and things like that, man. You know what I'm saying? So, I was gonna say, any final words you want to say as far as like the Knicks and stuff like that, and also it's like what you want to be able to, because you got guys in the chat and stuff like he was asking questions like what I'm saying, like you got your own channel, things like that, and what you're doing and stuff like that. If you just want to answer that and stuff like that.
Yeah, we chilling. Well, YL chilling right now.
Right.
Chilling. So we see what this upcoming season brings. Got a lot of ideas for the channel. So we'll see what this upcoming season brings. But don't be alarmed. My words to the Knicks fans. Like, don't be alarmed with losing Hartenstein. Don't be alarmed. It's the reason why bench players are bench players. Always keep that in mind. So don't worry about Josh Hart going to the bench. Don't worry about Dante going to the bench. Those is bench players. But that is going to show you the level of talent of this team. And that's the reason why the Knicks made the move that they made. If they felt them guys were starters, you don't go and sign OG to a $250 million contract. If they felt them guys were starters, you don't go trade for Mikal Bridges and give up 5 first-round picks. So understand the dynamic of how what the management even look at those 3 guys, because I'm quite sure the Knicks probably could have did something if they really, 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 really wanted Hartenstein. They offered him what they could offer him. They said, that's all we can offer you. That's all we can offer you. But if you really, 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 really wanted him, yeah, you could have dangled some picks in front of OKC and did a sign and trade. You could have did some things to make him stay. You could have worked out some things. So they didn't want him that bad, but at the end of the day, don't worry. This team is a championship contender team, and we supposed to be the teams we're supposed to be. That's how I just look at this upcoming season.
And also,
only time will tell. Only time will tell.
NYG's Knicks need more front size in the front court. That's my main question with Knicks. Yeah, I know. I mean, with losing the heart and sounds like that, but like I said, during the season, you can make trades and things like that. You just never know who names going to become available and things like that. You know what I'm saying? But if Mitch can stay healthy for the most part, we'd be all right. You know what I'm saying? And if Jericho can develop back there, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that, and also, during the season, it could be like I said, somebody could become available and they can just go make a trade for him and get him and stuff like that, because that's what always happens anyway. Guys, if they really need something or they see a play that they really want and try and need, they'll go get it, because the Knicks do have the pieces to make it happen anyway. You got draft picks and stuff like that, which teams want, so it's like, we'll be all right, man. You know what I'm saying? It's Ezekiel. What's going on, my boy? He's in the Giants and Texans game up next. Yeah, we're gonna be watching that, man. So I'll be on the channel with my boys and stuff like that, streaming that, man. He's a Texans fan.
I think we got enough size, though. Our team got bigger the minute we traded for Mikal Bridges and putting him at the 2 guard. It got bigger. And then you got OG at the small forward. Then you got Randall at the power forward. Then you got Mitch at the 5. So the team is pretty well-rounded. Then you got a bunch of guys that You got a bunch of ball players. That's the thing with this Knicks team. You got ball players. You got guys that go out there and know how to play, know what it takes to win a basketball game. Dante, he can't get all the rebounds, but he goes down there and follows his shots to grab rebounds. The reason why he doesn't get the rebounds is because he's out on the 3-point range, on the 3-point line, like where he's supposed to be at. So, but these guys all rebounders, all passers, they all slashers. You know what I mean? They all play the game.
He said Jericho's gonna be starting prior in the beginning of the season, and Mitch is out. Yeah, but probably that's what's gonna happen.
Probably.
Yeah. So, but that's even better for Jericho though. That give him more experience in the game. You know what I'm saying? Because most of those first 10 games are gonna be against quality teams, playoff teams. So that's a great for him. It ain't gonna be against no softies or anything like that. It's gonna be against playoff contending teams. So that's good experience for him. You know what I'm saying? So that'll help us out even better. You know what I'm saying? And that helped us out in the playoff with all those guys who was playing last year as starters when they was backups. That's more game experience. They got so much experience playing in that playoffs, man. So that's gonna help us out even more, man. We got a bench now that's like really kind of, they could be starters though. They did start. You know what I'm saying? A lot of teams can't say that though. A lot of teams cannot say that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you look at Jalen Brunson. This dude was surrounded by like 4 bench players. Who does that, man? Where they do that at? You know what I'm saying? And still carry a team. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that only helps us. That's what I say. The playoff did more good for us than it did bad. It did more good for the Knicks as an organization. It got those guys more playoff experience. Deuce McBride played a lot in the playoffs too. So it was like he's coming back with more experience, and so that's going to help out even more, man. So yeah, the thing with Mitch being out, he might not be ready for the beginning of the season, which I think he will be. You know what I'm saying? But even if he is not ready and stuff like that, I mean, go with Jericho, and then if they get pressures and they got pressures to Chua, or they could decide to get somebody too, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But we need Mitch for the postseason run. That's what we really need Mitch for. The regular season's fine, but we need him for that postseason, because when he's in there, he dominates in that paint, man. He dominates on the defensive end and stuff like that. That's the main thing, man. Yeah, I know Mikal ain't physical though, but like I said, we got other players that's physical for the Knicks. So I mean, he'll blend right in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I guess not just size, but if it's kind of supposed to be, we'll see. Yeah, to me, Mikal more like he's more of like a how can I say it? Like a I ain't gonna say finesse player and stuff like that, but we don't need him to be physical. You know what I'm saying? As far as he can shoot jump shots and stuff like that. Yeah, I know he ain't really posting people up and stuff like that. So we got other people to do that and stuff like that. He just needed, like I said, he's a 4th option, 3rd, 4th, depending at some points and stuff like that. So we just need him just to play his little role and stuff like that. You know, I think in the past, I was like Knicks, we Knicks fans was like, like the guys we got now, we were like that other team where the guy came to our team, he had to be the star player, even though he was like a 3rd or 4th option on the team. Nowadays it's like we got guys who like we need him to be that 3rd, 4th, 5th option or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't demand the ball and all stuff. So that's a great thing. He could play without the ball. We need a lot more guys that can play without the ball, and that's a great thing for us.
Yeah, we got guys that what you want from a team is when your number is called. We don't need you to go out there and score 20, 30 a night. We just need you to make the shots that you're supposed to make. And then I think DSJ said it earlier about being consistent. That's the main thing about being a championship team. You got to be consistent. You got to be consistent. So when your number is called, you may not score the numbers you used to. It goes for Randall too. But down the stretch, Randall, we're going to need you to go down in the post and go get those points. So we need you to make those baskets. You know what I mean? So we may not need it quarter 1 through 3, but come 4th quarter time, yeah, this is when we need Randall. This is where the game slows down at. This is where you need guaranteed back to the basket, go get this bucket, and you need somebody to go do that. And I think Randall could do that. Now he got to make the basket. So I just think being consistent is going to be the key with this team. It don't matter who you got out there. It's just when your number's called, make the baskets. And that's what you saw last year. You saw them guys when they from Deuce to Josh Hart, who's not a scorer. Even at times we saw Precious Achula scoring. We saw Hartenstein scoring. Just score when your numbers called. That's it.
All right, man. But yeah, people, man, if you've been here this long, man, please hit that like and subscribe button. Also share, man, on all social media platforms. Give me that thumbs up, give me them like buttons and stuff like that. Hit that like button, man. But before we go, man, I'm gonna shout out the chat, man. Everybody who came through. Coach Ed Gladney's Amazing World of Sports. You know what I'm saying? Go subscribe to his channel too. Part of the Big Blue Crew Sports Network and stuff like that. He does excellent content. Knicks, Giants, Rutgers football. If you're into Rutgers football, WNBA Liberties and stuff like that, he does their channel. Also, RC Hawkeye. He does the Iowa Hawkeyes Lady, Las Vegas Aces, WNBA, and also the Indiana Fever and stuff like that. Great guy. Subscribe to his channel too. My boy DSJ, thank you for coming through, showing love. Neymar, who else? We got Mosley came through. G Money came through. Salute G Money. Who else? What is this about? Nostalgic Nick, he came through too. Thank you for showing up, bro. Hit that like and subscribe button. And also my boy NYG, from the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. Please go show him some love. Unpopular Opinion Sports, And also it's Shaquille, Houston Texans fans, He came through and stuff like that because we playing the Texans today. So he came through ready for the game. What's up? You know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, please hit that like and subscribe button. Also share, man. Also go subscribe to everybody, the Big Blue Crew Sports Network, Big Pass Sports Talk. G Nation Inside Sports came through. Thanks for him for tapping in today. Big Lou from G Nation Inside Sports. Also, my man Heartstorm Media came through for a little bit, talking Knicks basketball and stuff like that. Go subscribe to his channel too, And I'm big shout out to my man right here, my man Big L, Worldwide L. You know what I'm saying? My boy right here. Like I said, we're gonna be hitting them Knicks games and stuff like that with the Hawks. You already know how it go, bro. You know what I'm saying? So they'll be able to catch up with us and catch up with you. And like I said, I should be on here probably within another hour because I'm going to probably go over there and stream with them guys to do the Giants and the Texans game and stuff like that. So until next time, man, we'll see you, man. Thanks for coming through and tapping in with us, man.
No doubt, bro.
All right.
Who's got the rocket launcher? I say we blow it up. Now fire that thing.
For the city of sports, playing with a giant Nick. With my man S. God.
That's him.
You feel the vibe?
That's me.
We going live.
That's us.
That like button shared, you been subscribed.
Stadium.
That MetLife Big Blue, home of the Braves.
Yeah.
That turnpike, you can see that's where the game's played. NFL one day, then it's the NBA. Madison Square Garden, that's where the Knicks play. This that NY Logan, no it don't get broken. Legalized mean this shit smoking. I'm on topic, dropping another episode. The game winner, trade, maybe a field goal. Everybody right now doing the wave. You tune in, the show called TheMan-Cave. I see the chat, they always doing their thing. Big views, 85-inch screen. The game's on, you rush and bleed. Stay calm, you on the road and chill. Do the watch along. The show's on, the host, you know it's S-God. It's no telling the panel filled with guest stars. You're now rocking with the voice, you know what it is. It's your boy J Boogie. You're now rocking with my man S-God. I support him to the fullest, you heard? My man Mike Blaze. This is Alter Production. What that mean? We about to alter everything that's playing. Tune in. My man S.God. Support the show. Subscribe, share it. Most importantly, hit that like button.